well, just as long as I get there safe, like I really don't care. Like,
well, that's what submission is. That's what submission is that you.
Down that I think everybody is at some point deserving to receive love and to be even into marriage if they do aspire for marriage.
I believe that society shapes how we view things and how we look at things in our life.
Make your own bed. That's basically what Kevin Samuels is saying. His delivery is what people kind of throws people off. But basically,
aggressive or like violent, like where I think toxic masculinity is
no offense to men, that they also get this idea that, you know, women are just going to take care of them and everything is going to be like easy.
A domestic violence shelter, and he brought her up to be, you know, a $25,000.
Hell yeah, you need to judge in dating. It is what it is. You know, you can't not judge people just because you feel bad about it. Like, you need to know.
As much as I love my daughter, there are some harsh realities and some things that her mother and I teach her in order to help her to understand.
Like, I'm sure everyone knows a woman that, you know, had to father her days. But the
What is going on, people? Welcome back to the CKQ podcast. I'm your host, Clement. And before we start the show, let me kick on the background music. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe to this button. Hit that like and subscribe button to like the video, helping it out in the algorithm. Join the channel, join the chat, and we're going to introduce our panelists. We got the doctor.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You can always find me here every week on Tuesdays on CKQ Podcast. So let's get ready for some great discussion. Go ahead and hit that like button and share it. Invite your friends. We're about to get started.
And we got, let's hope she's right back there and not forget where the stream is, Yannick. Hey, she's there.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get stuff set up to broadcast you to my channel.
No worries.
My name is Nick is the Knight of Three Married Ladies Opinions, 3MLO on YouTube. But you can also find us here on CKQ Podcast and sometimes streaming CKQ Podcast if you want to see some shows to 3MLO as well. All right. Thank you very much. Peace.
Keep doing this for now. So, how you guys doing? Good? Good? Chilling? You nice? You great?
Yeah.
I want to hit a topic. Toxic femininity, right? That's something that's going around the ether. I think it's a little rampant right now. But I want to do a quick video to start us off with. So do me a favor. Mute your mics.
On a career versus
Okay.
Sorry,
You're not gonna have children. You're not gonna have children. What are you gonna do?
Children, travel, just anything that makes me happy. Try to make money. I love traveling, so I would probably just
Drink cocktails on the beach. Okay, next.
About the same thing, like travel, focus on my career, things like that. Like my career will become my baby.
What about you?
I honestly just want to get right into my career.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
What do you want to do in life?
Right now, so I go to the University of Miami. I'm majoring in interactive media. What I want to do with that is build virtual reality simulators for the military. Then I'm also minoring in motion pictures. I'm interested in acting and shit like that.
Miss Cuba, what about you?
Do whatever the fuck I want.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
What-
Well, I plan on becoming a doctor. So I'm just my career.
Your career.
I'm
Okay.
passionate about it, so
A life without children is vapious.
Hello, Chris. What's going on? How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. Sorry, I had to make dinner after work and I got off work late.
No worries, no worries. So, what do you guys think of the females' responses, real quick? Chris, you probably didn't see most of it, right? Unique, you're probably still setting up, right? Okay, so we're gonna do a quick, repeat. All right, quick repeat. We're gonna start with this. This is from PragerU, from Unapologetic of PragerU, with Dennis Prager.
In this video, in their take on a career versus children.
Okay.
Sorry, my headphones fell off. If you're not gonna have children, what are you gonna do with your lives?
If I'm not gonna have children, travel, just pursue anything that makes me happy. Try to make money. I love traveling, so I would probably just
Drink cocktails on the beach. Okay, next.
About the same thing, like travel, focus on my career, things like that. Like my career will become my baby.
What about you?
I honestly just want to get right into my career.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
What do you want to do in life?
Right now, so I go to the University of Miami. I'm majoring in interactive media. What I want to do with that is build virtual reality simulators for the military. Then I'm also minoring in motion pictures. I'm interested in acting and shit like that.
Miss Cuba, what about you?
do whatever the fuck I want.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
What-
Well, I plan on becoming a doctor. So I'm just my career.
Your career.
I'm
Okay.
passionate about it, so
A life without children is vapious.
Thoughts before we get on to Andrew Tate, the great Andrew Tate, demolishing their theories. What do you guys think of that, though? Like, I mean, because I've always heard. I mean, I know Talk, right? Not Tack, Talk, was talking about it the other week that he would prefer his daughter, kind of focus really hard on school and make sure that she gets that education. And I think a lot of these ladies are kind of trying to do the same thing. Is that such a bad thing? You guys can unmute now.
Oh, you're on mute, John. Oh, you're
Chris,
talking.
you tackle this one first. I want to hear a woman's perspective on this.
Okay. Okay, the education thing isn't awful. I do think that women should have some type of skill set under their belt. Does it have to be necessarily from a university? I don't think that's necessary, but I think you should have some form of skills under your belt. And I do think that one of the cons from, if you look at like the 1950s housewife, which is what I think a lot of men today compare, like say they want, like the traditional men. One of the cons was that when the couple split, the woman didn't have any type of employment experience, and so she was typically
destitute.
Yeah. And so I do think that the fact that we can get an education now kind of helps to clear that. So now you can sort of in a way mitigate that risk that whenever you do re-enter the workforce, you don't have to deal with a lot of those issues, and there are strategies in which you can do that. The issue with this is that women are putting the thing that actually has an expiration date on pause for something that could wait, right? So they're going to school, then they're rolling right into a career, having a ton of fun, structureless fun, and then waiting until they're 30 plus to then start having children, if they even then want children, and it's too late. And by the time they're 40, they typically regret it. They typically regret not having kids when they were in their mid-20s. So I think the issue isn't the education. The issue is not telling women that the priority is for them to have a family, and the education is a supplement to that family, and is also a way for, if the worst case scenario happens, you can then take care of yourself and your family if needed. But it's not seen that way. I'm so out of breath. I ran upstairs so fast to get to this show. Whew.
Thank you. John, what you think? Unique, hurry up.
What you gonna make Unique trigger the Unique and she gonna snap?
That's fine. That's fine. We'll need
She's rolling her eyes at you right now.
It's fine. I'll take it. And I'm sipping my champagne at her.
So I'm gonna tell you what I think, right? So a couple of girls are believable. One is just got a really bad attitude, and she grew like, okay, the last one that went said she was gonna be a doctor. She's not wifeable, no way. Like, she missed the whole boat, like somewhere down the line. Okay. So she needs to, do it. That's a good plan for her. I don't see anything wrong with a female getting an education, and it don't necessarily have to be from university, but having a skill set definitely, is valuable, can have value in the relationship. If you are chosen by someone who really is not really a high earner, and you're just going to take both of your incomes to live a decent life, then that's a plus.
Would you say in this generation, this day and age, is that the ideal life that most women want?
No, I mean, when you say ideal life, come on, go ahead and provide a little more context.
Like maybe when women see themselves from a young age, when they see themselves as older, do they see themselves like, I work my job, and then I go home to my loving husband, and then I cook and clean, and then I take care of our kids, put them to bed, and I shower and go to bed with my husband? Like, do they see that as their life, as their end goal?
No, I mean, most of the women, I would say between the ages of 21, I would say 20 to even 19 all the way up to even 49 or 50 don't see that. Like, that's just not something that's gonna happen. So the pretty much the consensus of what I'm feeling that's out there in the ethernet or in society right now is that if I have to work, then you will prepare your own meals, you will wash your own clothes, you will do all these things that you're not good at, and oh well. Or you could always hire someone. I'll even help you pay for her, to do this. But then when y'all end up, you start working more, and the maid is always there, and the husband is looking at her like maybe the one that got away, and you get replaced by the housekeeper, then he was a dog, or were you a dummy? That's a better question.
Ooh,
you're inviting this woman into your house.
That's a good
to do the
question.
things that you feel like you no longer have to do, even though, do you really work? You see what I'm saying? So that, my mother is 60 plus
Chris,
years
you
old.
got a shout out from Madison. Shout out to Madison in the chat over there. Madison Diane.
What up, Maddie Boo?
You got the natural hair gang. Y'all on fleek.
I swear. So mother is 60 plus. She's about to retire in 3 months. Okay. I'm used to that. I'm used to my mother being the one who cooks. My mother being the one who helps my dad. My dad helps her clean up.
Gang gang.
But
Look at that 2 miles a day. Yo, y'all coming in crazy. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Sorry, John. Gotta give the shout outs, you know?
Oh, I already know. But that's what I'm used to. So I wouldn't, you know, how much work do you really do? You're working. You're a woman. Most likely you're not working anything that's physical. Now, you could be some demanding, some careers are demanding, like maybe,
Hey guys.
What's going on, Carl?
So Carl, I'm not even going you might be working you might have a demanding day, like if you're a nurse. But for the most part, nurses, they make their rounds, and once they make their rounds, they're not doing anything else. Ma'am, don't be fooled. If you're RN, you're in charge, typically.
Okay.
You're not wiping butt. You don't do that. You have an aide.
Everybody.
Oh, look at you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, all this natural hair gang, all these women with their natural
Everybody natural.
Oh, I'm trying to straighten my hair. And it
Yo,
just
looking good. You got your clear skin. You got your natural hair.
I had some Red Bulls and water. God damn, yeah. Listen, wait, look at y'all. Okay.
Yo, this is crazy. A good looking
I
pen.
think I'm the only one who's lost weight. John, have you lost any weight?
John has lost weight.
Well, I don't mean to expose, but you looking kind of romantic over there. Your damn self, bro, with the lights on the ceiling. What's going on, bro? Expecting a date afterwards? What's going on?
Space ceiling.
Yeah, man. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, we need to have some of this.
Got that 5'10" model coming over?
Well, y'all killing me. Y'all ain't getting drunk. So I'm like, hey, listen to him. Hey, Dr. So, what y'all ladies think about working and getting married and working and then having 3 babies, huh?
Working? Hold on. Let me make sure I heard you correctly.
Hold on. While we have the whole panel here, John, I know you were saying that, but I want to get to what Andrew Tate says to these ladies real quick, because they all spoke about their careers. That's really what they see their future being like. So, love the national look, ladies. Yeah, look at that. See, y'all getting compliments. Y'all looking beautiful.
I'm still trying to figure out what does a woman's career got to do with a man. Like, how do I benefit from your career?
But all right, mute your mics real quick. Fair
Gotcha.
use. Fair use.
And it's inane and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think atheist.
I'm passionate. So I'm just my career.
Your career.
I'm passionate about it. So
A life without children is vapious, and it's inane and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you at a whim and not give a second, don't give a solitary shit. And when you're 52 and you're past it with no grandchildren in a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren in this beautiful life, and you're sitting there by yourself, do you think the fact that you can afford a few extra Gucci bags is going to genuinely make you feel happy? I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday. I looked there. My grandmother had 9 children. There was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids, blah, blah, blah. I stood there and I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable? Yeah. That nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No, you had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife. That is beautiful. And if you sit here and genuinely think that you're going to work your ass off through your fertile years, and by the age of 54, you're not going to be suicidal alone with a cat, then you're dumb. The happiest women on earth have children and a man who's paying the bills and their mothers. The happiest people on earth. I guarantee it. Your mothers, ask your own mother, do you regret having me? She's going to say, of course not. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. So now you're going to sit here and you're going to end your own bloodline? All your ancestors were out there surrounded by saber-toothed fucking tigers trying to survive on the streets out there in caveman days just to get to the final end where we have all the medical care and you can live in a nice warm house for your fucking selfish ass to say, no, I don't want kids. I'm too busy in the fucking strip club or going to fucking Mallorca to have a pina colada on the beach. It's absolutely insulting to your entire bloodline. Everything everyone above you has ever done and struggled for.
all the times your grandparents went to work when they didn't feel like it, just for you to exist, for your selfish ass to say, no, me and my passions and my dreams and my shit drawings and my Instagram page is worth more than ever having children. You're a selfish fuck. Fuck that. You should all have kids.
A fucking man.
Damn.
A
Yeah,
fucking
right,
man.
hey.
I don't feel
Shout
so
out
right
to-
now, goddamn. I don't feel
Shout
so
out to all
right.
of you in the chat. Mrs. She said in the chat, appreciate you. Shout out, man. If any of you in the chat want to join the conversation, do me a favor, hit that link at the top. And we're about to tackle what Andrew Tate just said. So how you guys feel about that? Chris, did you hear any of that? Nope. Absolutely not.
I'm so sorry.
No
I
worries.
Check
no
on
worries.
dinner.
Okay,
Got
no
me
worries.
tea
We're
balls.
probably gonna do a rerun, but what do you guys think of that so far?
A fucking man.
Unique. Actually, I'm gonna start with Unique. What do you think?
I know what y'all is expecting me to say.
I don't know what I'm expecting you to say. That's what I'm calling.
What do you feel, Unique?
Okay, I feel like the same thing with like Kevin, like he tells the truth, but he's just too harsh with it. So people can't take it. And if I would have heard this 4 years ago, I probably would have been like my blood pressure would have been up, and I'd have been like, "What do you think he is?" and all that stuff. But being almost 50, but I did eventually have kids as an older mom. That I think he is right. He just do it a little bit harsh, you know. But he is right, because even though sometimes I go crazy and I be thinking Cal gonna take me away from all these kids, at 80 and 90, that's what else do you really have? I mean, what else do you really have besides your family and your husband?
I'm very shocked that you even said that, because why is it the message is not getting as much focus on the delivery? Fuck how he said it. Pay attention to what he's saying, the message.
Take that.
Fuck
No,
that
some
shit.
people-
Get over it.
But some women don't like kids. Like some women really
Well,
don't.
I even with Madison what just said, I get what he is saying, but not everyone can have kids. Some women work to overcompensate for a lack of reproductive skills and produce for their nieces, nephews, etc. The overwhelming majority of women can have kids, though.
Overwhelming majority, and also the overwhelming majority of women, you know, don't necessarily not like kids. Like, it's not a lot of women who just don't like kids, but there is a reason that the mother does not, you know, when you get married, you don't keep the woman's last name, you keep the man's, because the man is pretty sturdy on the path that we're gonna go.
A football player took the woman's name.
Too much selfishness and laziness, bro. Those are all the way. What you just gave was a way out of laziness, selfishness, and the disrespect to legacy. And that's what he was talking about. To be in a room 60, 70 years old and know that, yo, I'm the oldest person here, and 40 to 50 people are here because of me. Come on.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, do you think that the narrative is pushed far too much for young women to be getting an education over trying to build a family? Should there be a push for young women to be starting families as opposed to going to college?
No.
I'm not going to erase college.
Let's talk about it.
No.
So?
No. There's a season for everything. It's not her season to get married. A young woman that's 21, 22, 23, 24, she's not ready. A woman is not ready to get married until she's at least 26, 27 years old. and the light bulb goes off at 28.
Well, that would be a contradiction. That would be a contradiction, Doc, because remember, the three, 4, 5 generations before us were getting married at 16, 18, and so on, with 10, 12, 15, 20 kids, with maybe a high school diploma. And guess what? Those are our grandparents, our great-grandparents. Look how it turned out.
Yeah, it turned out. But there's some horror stories behind that too.
Hey, I didn't say nothing about perfection.
I agree with
I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about people that got together at young ages before they was even 21, before they was 25, got married, had a whole lot of kids, stayed on one job 30, 40 years, regardless of all the good, bad, and ugly, they still made generations.
But now I'm fixing to come up the back door with you on this one, because I can relate. Now, I'm old. The average age gap was at minimum 12 years. That was the lowest. There was no same age. You get a 21-year-old man with a 21-year-old woman, them niggas ain't making it 4 years married. It ain't gonna happen. The numbers say so. That divorce rate is high as fuck. Like, it's high. Why? Because of the man. Typically, in those relationships, the man fucks up. He fucks up first.
His maturity comes later.
Exactly. Now, with our great-grandparents...
That even tackles this right here, what Madison says. Yes, there's a push for women to work, but men do not marry as quickly as they used to.
Nope.
What do we do in the waiting period on a partner?
Well, shit, look what they got to pick from, man. What? There's not really much out there to pick from. I mean, let me see. I could go with her, but she look like a man. I can't go with her because she act like a man. I mean, come on.
This motherfucker is a man.
Exactly. So look what they got to pick from, man.
Oh my God.
Come on.
I think the reason why men aren't marrying as quickly is because women don't require it as early. You ship your daughter to college, give her within those 4 years. If she was a virgin when she went there, she won't be a virgin by the time she left. Women don't, there was a time period where those years were seen as very sacred, and the women were getting married off between the ages of 18 and 22, right? But now we ship them to college where they have all this freedom, all this independence. They're dating men and they're probably sleeping with these men, and that precious time to actually vet men and be married by the time you're 23, that's just kind of wasted away at university with these women, studying communications and all of this. I don't think, it's what you're choosing from necessarily, what men are choosing from necessarily. I think the issue is women at that time aren't ready. They were not prepared to be married within those ages. Instead, they're just shipped away to some university. I think,
is there validity to what Mrs. She said though?
Yes, I want to talk about that.
Go ahead.
Preach. So there was a conversation that you and I had earlier today where I was telling you my generation and the generation above me are fucking these women up. And they are, because this is the narrative. Wait. And another thing I want to add is that the Bible has been removed from everybody's life.
Right.
There's like nobody living by it. There's like, it's just a bunch of words. But it's crazy, because then when I challenge them directly on this, none of them have ever read it. It was a TikTok video going around offering $50 if you can name one verse in the Bible. Say one verse, just one verse. A verse could be one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
He went to 20 different people and no one could get that $50 away from him. He even upped it to 100. Still, nobody could. Now the point
the 23rd Psalm was the easiest one.
If you follow the instructions, right, and you're the parent, you want to encourage your daughter not to be out here, and your son not to be out here fornicating in the streets. But instead, we're telling the girl, oh, girl, you need to wait to get married. That's why the scripture is better to marry than to burn, because God already knew we have a lustful desire. He made us. He made us in his life. So he is better to marry than to burn, because you're covered once you're married. You're protected. You come under a man's protection. And there's also the scripture in that it says a married couple cannot defile the bedroom. That means not only can you get married and have sex how you want to, you can't defile the bedroom. You can do with her whatever she wants you to do. It's okay. That's your wife. That's your woman. But instead now we say, wait. Okay, now
wait to marriage, but not wait to fuck. Okay.
Exactly, because you're not going to wait to fuck. But for so long, and when you do this, your odds of fucking somebody out of wedlock go way the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right? So you go in your hot girl summers, you might fuck 2 or 3 different dudes in a 2-week period.
Right.
Because you ain't trying to be connected to no one. If you wanted that connection, you got a dude back home that likes you, and you know you can be connected with him. Y'all live in the same spot, blah, blah, blah. Out here, we just slaying. Why? Because men can do it. We can do it too.
Yes.
But bitch, I can piss over a car. I bet you can't do that.
Right.
Somebody got to horse your ass up, and you still can't generate that stream.
Right.
I mean, you're not us. You're not structurally made like us. You don't think like us. We are designed to be the direct complement of each other.
Right. Not a competition.
Feminine.
Not a competition.
Strong, weak. Period. That makes you are weaker, not designed for fighting, not designed for battle, so that I have something to fucking protect. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I am made for fighting, I am like a tank, so that you have someone to fucking protect you, to get in the way of things, to shoulder shit that you can't shoulder and bury, to lean on me when you're weak and you don't feel like it. But I too should be able to lean on you from an emotional perspective.
So you said this all stemmed from the generation, the women of your generation kind of messing up the younger generation.
Yeah, look at how old they
I say the last two. The last two
generations. The one above me and my generation.
So
this up.
If that's the result of, let's just say, toxic femininity, right? Toxic femininity.
No, it's actually the result of a toxic ass man. That's the result of.
So that was my next question. Is toxic femininity a byproduct of men not stepping up?
No, it's because
Chris, actually, I want to Chris, start us out. Is toxic femininity a byproduct of men not stepping up to the plate, not trying to bat? Not today.
I gotta disagree on that one.
Can you define toxic femininity in men and women?
So the way I look at femininity or even masculinity is when a boy or a young girl decides to present themselves as a mature adult. When you decide I'm no longer going to present myself as a young person, I'm not going to take responsibility of my actions and present myself as a mature, moving, able person in the world.
Yeah, we're not going by society's definition on this one, Chris.
Yeah, that can't be a male or female thing. That's a universal thing, because remember now what you just said.
If you decide to actually move as a mature person in the world?
Yes, because you know why? Remember, the parents today is not of the parents 2-3 generations ago that sat down and did homework with you, read with you, and reminded you how precious your youth was. Remember now, at the age of 15, you're going to the store for your pops, cigarettes. Some of them going to the spot to get weed for their parents. I mean, there's too much responsibility given to them too soon.
I'm confused. What are you trying to get at?
In other words, the young lady and the young man that you're talking about,
they're going to represent.
They're not enjoying their youth, their time of youth.
Yeah, but you still have 40, 50-year-olds that are still acting like 15, 16-year-olds.
That's the point I'm making. The reason why they're going back to that is because they didn't have a youth when they was growing up.
I see what he's trying to say. It's not I see. I mean, I see what he's saying, but right now Carl, he's just defining.
Yeah, this is just a description.
He's just defining what he mean by femininity and masculinity.
Okay.
Then we're gonna get into causation in a minute because you got a point. You got a real strong point.
Okay.
I might disagree.
So
with
hold
that.
on
Go
to
ahead,
that.
Chris.
We'll chat about that one.
Go ahead, Chris.
I still don't think I understand the definition. Can you say it again?
Madison on my side, all right? On green flags. Oh, that's a.
Oh, did I freeze?
It's a short list. What do you? What's confusing you, Chris? Talk to me.
The definition of toxic femininity.
Toxic femininity. What I described was femininity. So toxic femininity would be if you decide I'm not going to do anything that's mature. Really, I'm going to act whatever I feel and do whatever I want without care for the outcomes or ramifications of my actions.
Correct.
Dismissing tradition.
Yes. That would be a toxic female.
Yeah.
And do I think that's why men today aren't stepping up?
I think it's a byproduct of men not stepping up. When women become toxic, when women get, crazy, when women start, doing some crazy things, it's a byproduct of men not being in their masculine frame.
What exactly is it? Did you name it? Did you define it?
He just defined it.
He defined it, and I'm taking it like he's putting it on the men when it comes before the men is even involved. We're talking about the parenting.
Yeah, I mean, but
wait, hold on. We're gonna get through this
yeah,
and I promise you, when it's my turn, I'm gonna bring it all home. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it home and make it make sense to everybody.
Chris, you still confused, I'm guessing.
No.
You just don't know how to approach it.
So I don't think I'm so confused. You're asking, is toxic femininity basically a result of? Okay.
Correct.
Of men not stepping up. No, I think it started with toxic femininity. I think women lay out the standards, the requirements, and men like and appreciate the achievement and the idea of earning something. And so I think that when women started to drop their standards by wanting to do everything for themselves, wanting to do everything because they wanted it with no regard for what's best for men and children and all of that, I think that is when men kind of started saying, well, if you're not going to ask me for it and I'm still going to benefit, I'm going to do the least amount that I need to do and still get what I want. Because I don't really think the world for men has really changed all that much since feminism, really. I think that was kind of like
that is very well put
for toxic femininity.
That is very well put. I like that. I definitely agree with that.
John, what you think?
You really want me to go there?
I do.
You might want me to go last because it's going to be a little long, but I'm going to put. I want to hear what Unique has to say, but I'm gonna
wrap it all around.
Oh yes, sir. Okay. Absolutely.
Unique.
About
what?
What do you want to hear me say
It's
about?
toxic.
I'm sorry, I'm in the comments. I'm doing a lot. Okay.
Yeah, you are. All right, join the conversation real quick, okay? I appreciate you being in the comments. So shout out to you. Shout out to the best mod over there in the chats. Unique. 3 Married Ladies Opinions. Go over and subscribe to her channel. She does some great things over there. But join the conversation, okay? Come on now.
I'm sorry.
All right. Toxic femininity. Is it a byproduct of men not stepping up? So women acting all crazy, doing all these, wild things that they're doing right now. Is that just a byproduct of men just not holding their frame anymore?
I agree. I think some of it is. Now, I have this theory, don't want to go into it, but I have a combination of things of why women are turning into men and men are turning into women.
Okay.
So it's a combination of things, but I think that is part of it too. I think it's another thing in addition to why it feels that way to me. Like it's like a bizarro world. It's like a backwards world. That's what it seems like to me sometimes. So I think it has to do a lot with systemic racism, the food we eat, the government. It has a lot, and it has to, and once it seems like systemic racism kind of put the Black women at the forefront to make them more money, to get them more education, then they have all of those responsibilities, and then the hormones change, and then the food that they eat change their hormones. It's just a whole combination of things, I feel.
Okay. Shout out
I
to
don't
you,
think it's just
Bonbird.
one thing.
Don't forget that ego and pride.
I'm the only Ruck. Shout out to you. Shout out to you guys in the chat.
What's up, Ruck?
Do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this. And if you have some time, get some good lighting, or if you don't have a camera, hit that link at the top of the chat to join the conversation if you'd like to. Carl.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's a multifaceted thing, right?
It's multifaceted, definitely.
Things, but the men not stepping up is also part of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But see, this is something else I wanted to bring up, because Doc said something that was very interesting about, the woman is not as strong and all that. This new movie that Viola Davis just did, it's like back in the day when brothers used to go watch a Rocky film. Now they come out the theater, think they all boxers and they can fight. Women are going to see this movie. This narrative is being pushed out there in our media in so many different ways. And that movie is going to put on top of what was already existing, this delusional confidence that, yeah, girl, you could kick a man's ass too. We could be warriors. You see what I'm saying? Because this is the influence that we're getting. So we have to stop that type of shit from happening, coming out and brainwashing our younger generation if we're trying to get them to understand tradition and legacy, to break that cycle.
Go ahead.
I agree with you mildly too. I'm sorry.
No worries.
It's a byproduct. It's not a byproduct of men stepping up or women stepping up. It could be like the after effects of people being hurt. That could be that.
It's not a byproduct of men not stepping up or women not stepping up. It's an after effect of being hurt, mostly on both sides.
Stop the cap.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. All right. Wrap us around, John. Talk to me.
All right. So everybody.
Wait. I'm sorry. Chris, you did raise your hand.
I was just going to say, to what Carl said, I agree. I think more realistically, though, it would be, we can't necessarily just stop the media from pumping out stuff, but I think that's when it comes in where we should have better structures at home. So, sorry.
Yeah.
The motorcycle went by. Where we should have better structures at home where we're not letting our children watch those films. Now the homes are so loose that now teenagers are watching whatever they want. They don't have that structure in the homes. I think if we had more control over that, that would do just as good as, and it's a bit more in reach than trying to stop media companies from pumping out films.
Yeah.
I agree. Because I'm tired of seeing 9, 10, 15-year-olds with iPhone 10s and, all this technology, and parents are ignoring the fact that their children can pull up Pornhub anytime they want. So, like I said before, the responsibility is not the man being, the problem. I think the influence starts from the parenting, and stop letting, technology raise your kids. Stop being lazy, that type of thing.
Okay, we're gonna do one last video, one last watch, and then John, I'm gonna let you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take us home.
Yeah. So, one last reaction to the video. Fair use. Meet your mics.
You're not gonna have children. You're not gonna have children. What are you gonna do?
Children, travel, just do anything that makes me happy. Try to make money. I love traveling, so I would probably
drink cocktails on the beach. Okay, next.
About the same thing, like travel, focus on my career, things like that. Like my career will become my baby.
What about you?
I honestly just want to get right into my career.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
What do you want to do in life?
Right now, so I go to the University of Miami. I'm majoring in interactive media. What I want to do with that is build virtual reality simulators for the military. Then I'm also minoring in motion pictures. I'm interested in acting and shit like that.
Miss Cuba, what about you?
Do whatever the fuck I want.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Would-
Well, I plan on becoming a doctor. So I'm just my career.
Your career.
I'm
Okay.
passionate about it, so
A life without children is vapious, and it's inane, and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you at a whim and don't give a second, don't give a solitary shit. And when you're 52 and you're past it with no grandchildren in a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren in this beautiful life, and you're sitting there by yourself, do you think the fact that you can afford a few extra Gucci bags is going to genuinely make you feel happy? I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday. I looked there. My grandmother had 9 children, because there was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids, blah, blah, blah. I stood there and I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a room, a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable?
Yeah.
That nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No, you had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife. That is beautiful. And if you sit here and genuinely think that you're going to work your ass off through your fertile years, and by the age of 54, you're not going to be suicidal alone with a cat, then you're dumb.
But
The
that- I
happiest
really
women
do
on
think-
earth have children and a man who's paying the bills and their mothers. The happiest people on earth. I guarantee it. Your mothers, ask your own mother, do you regret having me? She's going to say, of course
Obviously
not. You're the
not.
best thing that ever happened to me. So now you're going to sit here and you're going to end your own bloodline? All your ancestors were out there surrounded by saber-toothed fucking tigers trying to survive on the streets out there in caveman days just to get to the final end where we have all the medical care and you can live in a nice warm house for your fucking selfish ass to say, no, I don't want kids. I'm too busy in the fucking strip club or going to fucking Mallorca to have a pina colada on the beach. It's absolutely insulting to your entire bloodline. Everything everyone above you has ever done and struggled for. All the times your grandparents went to work when they didn't feel like it, just for you to exist, for your selfish ass to say, no, me and my passions and my dreams and my shit drawings and my Instagram page is worth more than ever having children. You're a selfish fuck. Fuck that. You should all have kids.
Wrap us around, John. I love that. Wait. Danielle, what you think of that? What are your thoughts on his views?
I think he's very strong in his views.
And what is your opinion on his views?
I think
what again?
I think that nothing wrong with focusing on your career. And just because you focusing on your career don't mean that you can't be thinking about family too. But I don't see a reason to focus on something like that. Like I didn't focus on family until I had a family. I had no reason to focus on that. I was focusing on what I wanted to do with myself. So that when I had a family, I didn't have to be selfish. So I don't know. I think that a life without kids would be miserable. But if a woman chooses not to have kids, I wouldn't look down upon her. I would say that that's a good thing because I don't want somebody having a kid if they don't want it. Like
that's such a contradictory statement, though.
Actually treated a kid like you didn't want it. Like,
isn't that such a contradictory statement, though? You're like, oh, I couldn't judge them, but I can't see my life without kids.
No,
but then
that's
I
not
wouldn't
a
say.
free statement. I can't judge someone else for what they do, but what I want for my life is what I want for my life. Why would I be looking at somebody else's life and telling them that they're wrong? Like, that's not my business.
Clem said something earlier about what happens if the person can't have children or whatever. You can adopt. You know, there's so many women that adopt their kids and raise them as their own.
I
You
feel
know,
like
it's
if you don't want no kids, you don't gotta have them.
it's the excuses on my part, man. I
Ain't no
can't.
excuse. The excuses, I don't want it. That's good.
Most women want to have kids though.
Okay, but if you don't want them, so what?
But I'm talking about the majority that do.
You just asked me about what I felt like about what he said, and what I feel like is, if you don't want them, so what? All that opinion he put on it was just a lot for me. I'm not gonna be judging no female for her choices. I don't have to live in the consequence of her choices. It's a lot to be a woman and a mother and a wife. It's a lot of selflessness. So if she feel like she too selfish to have a kid, kudos to her for knowing before she go down that road that that's the wrong road. This shit tough, okay?
See, this is why I said earlier about people in today's generation is too quick to dismiss and throw away, like Doc said earlier. They're not reading the Bible. They don't know nothing about, not one verse in there. They just dismiss a tradition because they figure they could do it better.
If the person don't want kids, not having kids is doing it better.
Well, imagine if the generation 30 years, 40 years ago thought the same way. A lot of us wouldn't be here.
A lot of people who are unwanted and mistreated would not be here. Perhaps there will be a lot more kindness. We don't know.
Fair enough.
Doctor, wrap it up.
Have you ever met an unwanted child?
Listen, all I know is 65% of black folks was born by accident. Nothing was planned. And by the statement that you made earlier, that says that a lot of people don't plan ahead of time when they're young about when to cut on the education, cut it off, and start thinking about family. We get caught up with the single life. We forgot about marriage. We get caught up in career and education. We forgot about family and legacy. So it's all about planning. But if you're selfish and you ain't planning, you're right. You ain't going to be ready until it hits you in the face. Now you want to get ready. But we all know if you work on planning, like I said before, about don't waste time. Be prepared so you don't have to waste time later.
Talk to me, John. Circle us around.
All right, so
Bring it back full circle.
So I'm gonna bring us all full circle. I think everybody on the panels is correct in their own right, and not just from their opinion. Just everyone is right, okay? Because there's a lot of variables that surround it, and I'm alluding to, the original question of, whose fault is this toxic, the toxic femininity? Well, it leads back to the man. And I'm going to tell you why. It started with the female, but it leads back to us. Why? Because once, like, for instance, when Yannick said that the government's assistance moved men out of the house, that was a big thing. That did happen. That's a fact, right? Well, when the man moved out of the house, you got a single mother. It's too many damn single women. You got a damn single mother here raising boys. The boys don't have a male role model. I'm sorry. Your brother is not enough. Your brother is not enough. Your brother is not his dad. This boy is going to have thoughts of what his dad is like. He does not give a shit what your brother is like because he knows that's not his dad. Instead, he's going to follow the person who created him. That would be you. He's going to mimic a lot of your behavior. And then you're going to put everything off on him to where your beliefs will eventually become his beliefs. You're going to tell him, hey, you don't need to do this for no woman because that's how they play you. That's how they do stuff like this. So now you got a fucking man who don't believe that he should take care of a woman, period. A man is designed by design to go with less comfort. I train my boys to learn how to be uncomfortable, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because how in the fuck are you going to be a provider in a protector if you always worried about how comfortable you fucking are. If you got to be comfortable, you're not going to stand up for nobody because you don't want to fucking have to go to the hospital if you get your ass beat. Because you ain't going to whoop everybody, but you supposed to try to whoop anybody that's fucking with your family. Whether you win, lose, or draw, you supposed to be there. You're the protector of the fucking house. That's your job. How you going to be a provider if everything has to be fucking perfect? No. You learn to live with the and men are like that. And if you know men are like that, or if you want to argue that men are not like that, bullshit, go to a single man house. You're gonna see simple fucking shit. You're not gonna see nothing extravagant unless he's gay and he's real feminine. That's different. But most men who are not, you're gonna see very simple shit because they don't have all these complex things that makes their life harder. Men live off the very bare fucking minimum. So if you get there and you living with a nigga, you are requiring him to do what he does best, which is the bare fucking minimum to get the most out of the outcome. You fucking me, I'm going to work, we paying bills, we married. In my mind, we married. So if we married, I'm never gonna marry you. Cause in my mind, nigga, we married. Until you require me to do more, I won't. I'm gonna do the very little. So stop trying to get a man to think like a woman. He's not gonna do it. We are designed to do the least to get the most. And it's not a bad thing. Because when you taking care of your family, I need to go out here and do the best job I can do and understand that money, when I bring it home to my wife, she's gonna use it how she sees fit. And that might not fucking be me in the equation. That might be her and the fucking kids. Which means I'm gonna have to wear my shoes a little bit longer. I'm gonna have to wear these clothes a little bit fucking longer. Period. That's why we're made like that. So when you got this toxic ass little boy out here being with this woman, and he is killing her vibe. And now he puts trauma on her. And now they look at every young man after that. Now he got her pregnant. He don't know what a fucking man looks like. So his damn boy is gonna be just like him. And the cycle just keeps going.
Or
we
I
have
mean,
a broken fucking family unit. That is the problem. And both toxic men and toxic females come from this system. Period. Not to mention movies. She-Hulk.
I'm still stuck on how the man is to blame for it though. I'm still stuck on that.
Because the man is the head of the house. Everybody follows his lead. Everybody.
That's an ideal, Doc.
No,
but in reality, that's
I've ever been in. I'm the lead, and everybody follows.
No. What I'm saying is that's ideal. What you're saying, but in reality, like you just said, it's more single mothers than there is men in the household.
Well, that's because the single mothers are not like women. Really do want to get fucking married. But then when they do take that chance, they end up with a fucking dude. They end up with a dude that don't know how to be a protector. You want to see a woman really feel some kind of fucking way? People can say that. You have left-wing liberals that try to argue, oh, we don't have gender. You're a goddamn lie. Science points to that shit all the time. I don't think a liberal person ever read a fucking science book ever. They just make shit up as they want to go. None of this shit has any kind of validity at all, nor reliability. You want to see a woman really get besides herself, don't you fucking take up for it. Don't defend her when goddamn it's time to defend her. And I promise you, boo-boo, her whole demeanor about your ass will change. And it will stay that way for a very fucking long time. And she will despise and hate your ass forever. Don't be a fucking provider. I've heard women who make $180,000 a fucking year and said that they will get with a man who makes 40 as long as that motherfucker trying to make 100. So you show that you're not willing to fucking provide, and I will show you a woman who's about to get rid of your ass. Your time, you living on borrowed time, baby.
But that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to swallow when you are seeing constantly convenience is being picked over quality.
That's because that nigga making that check.
Like you rather the dude that don't have a job. You rather give the coochie to the guy that don't have a job versus the guy that does have a career.
Oh, now hold on. Let's go back.
You rather have kids with a guy you know just came home from doing 5-10 years than the guy that been on his job for the last 10-20 years.
But that would be assuming that they plan to have them kids. Niggas trap women just like women trap niggas. See, we don't talk about that, but we do.
Yeah.
We do that shit. I know homeboys that do it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
We trap them. Nigga, let me tell you something. I'm
new to this topic. This is a new topic for me.
Before we went doggy style, the condom was on missionary when you could feel dick coming in and out.
Yeah.
But when we went doggy, this thumb go right on that shaft.
Yeah.
And I thumb that motherfucker right the fuck on off. And all of a sudden she feels something. Damn, that nigga got hard as hell. You goddamn right it did. Now you can feel your shit.
Because it's true, because most men prefer, as far as poll is concerned, most black men prefer doggy position than any other position because that's the only part they can manipulate without the woman looking.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that, huh?
Why you think black men have so many fucking kids, bro? We fertile as shit and we have a lot of fucking kids.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. That ain't being stereotypical.
Let's not
that
get
ain't damn talking about my race. I'm speaking fucking facts.
You're saying that men are out here trapping women.
I'm saying that men nigga, if you came home from doing 5 to 10, where the fuck you gonna work?
Yeah.
What kind of job you think you finna get?
Yeah.
You going to the damn CEO meeting interview? No, you're not.
So these men that are trapping women, they're taking care of the kids?
No, they're the extra child.
All type of men try to trap women.
Yeah,
men that provide for you and men that can't.
Let's take it easy. Let's rewind a little bit.
Let's make no mistake.
How is all men trying to trap women? That doesn't make any sense.
No, not all. Not all. There is a great number.
How does that make sense? Explain.
Okay, so if a man like a woman, but this woman is chilling, like she not stressed about being with him like that. Yo, men love that, yo. Okay, so you having fun. You're not stressing him when he with you. You have a good time. You a good vibe. He just wants more of that. Yeah, he's gonna do whatever. He's gonna do whatever to keep that. I mean, because if he around you for a while,
he'll probably marry you, not have kids with you.
Nah, nigga.
Oh, no, he wants
everything. You talking about the guy that's whipped?
He wants everything. He wants everything.
He's whipped.
He want all of you, and for you not to leave ever. He's gonna do whatever to keep you there.
Yeah.
These men crazy.
This is the best he ever had. This is the best he's gonna ever get. Her house is the bomb. Yo, let me put. It's like a woman coming to your house and she's always leaving something behind. It's territorial.
Nah, yeah, I mean it's not only territorial, but I'm telling you, really, men do fucking. You know this Carl, already. I mean, man, you got the niggas who coming out of prison and met with this girl who been putting money on his fucking books. They met on that damn website for prisoners, right? And she put money on his books, and he got lucky. He got a cute one. She cute. She ain't a dime, but she ain't a fucking 4-cent piece neither. She's somewhere between a strong 5 and an adjustable 5.5. You know what I'm saying? But she got a good job, and she can help this nigga get on his feet. So he'll tell her whatever he needs to tell her. But if I get her pregnant, he got a lifelong fucking connection with this woman forever.
There you go.
Then you got the nigga who studied all the time, fucking nerd, bro. You feel me? And then this girl, she like him, but he real awkward. Like he just awkward. He just don't have any swag. The nigga ain't ugly, but he could take her to nice places, and she like going to nice places. So she gave him a little ass, and he was like, I might never get this pussy again. She just got off a period. Let's just hope it works. Next thing you know, she fucking pregnant. And she like, well, I don't mind being pregnant with him. he do got a good job, blah blah blah.
But
But
that's not
this
the usual
wasn't no
case, though.
fucking accident. This nigga had this shit in his
Listen,
mind.
That's not the usual case, though.
I want the connection, but
That's not the usual case, though.
no.
It's not going to be the guy that's actually.
I just said it. You want the connection, but you don't want.
And that man ain't about to tell that he did that shit.
Right. You want the connection. You don't want the whole package.
What I'm saying is the guy that's the guy is probably not going to be the guy that, can actually get some things done in his life. It's usually going to be the guy that's not
necessarily, bro.
It depends on who you are. It depends on the female.
Yes, it really depends.
The female attract the quality of man. So whatever female you are, that's the type of man you're going to attract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, it don't like this right here, believe it or not.
Baby boy part 2. Go ahead.
This right here does not listen. A man's natural drive is to fucking procreate anyway. That's his natural drive. That's what attracted him to your ass anyway. Agreed. You had physical characteristics that he would like to see in his kid. Period. So when y'all, you got some couples that y'all together, y'all graduate from the condom. You got some that the fucking condom was never a requirement. Typically, those niggas are more handsome than others. And she's like, I don't give a fuck. I have his goddamn baby. I don't give a fuck if he's no good at all. I want my son to look like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want.
That Indian hair.
He got that good hair, girl. The whole nine. So they want them or if he's smart as fuck. Like, they willing to have a baby with your ass. So you can just, they gonna let you go in raw anyway. So you ain't trap her. I'm talking about the one who got, she don't really see you in her future. She is trying to give you some ass, but she fine as shit. And you have a low self-esteem. You're not sure you can pull this kind of woman. Every nigga talk that talk, bro. Every nigga talk that talk. And when I go out with them and say, go holler at that girl, them niggas look at me like a deer in the goddamn
They
headlight.
freeze up.
Like, bro, she fine.
That's
But
right.
what the fuck you thought I was gonna choose a bitch who was ugly? No, nigga, that's too easy. She happy that you even showed up and said, hey, go talk to her. Because she been getting talked to by niggas who are 10s all night. What you gonna do with that? You said you got game. Let me see it. Spit it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Now, imagine that same motherfucker giving him some ass. That nigga finna fucking nut in her. He finna try to get that motherfucker pregnant, bro.
Yep.
A motherfucker, he didn't believe. Okay, Lauren London. You ask an average nigga on the street, if you had the opportunity to get Lauren London pregnant, would you do it? Watch him and see how many of them motherfuckers say, hell yeah, nigga. Yeah. Goddamn right off it.
You ain't lying because at one time niggas wanted to make Oprah Winfrey pregnant. Shit. Yeah,
I mean, you can get who don't even know a girl like that and be like, hey, you gonna have my baby. How many times you been with a nigga? Y'all ain't got to answer. I know y'all got significant others and husbands and shit like that. But I want you to really think about it. You been with a nigga and that motherfucker said, you want to have my baby? I want you to let that suit. If you ain't never had it, ask some of your homegirls who get out a little bit more than you. And ask have you ever had a nigga say, you going to have my baby? And you ain't really know the nigga that well. She was a prime candidate for some goddamn trapping. I'm telling you. That he just didn't want to straight up do it, but he damn sure was thinking about it. We trap y'all just like y'all trap us.
Listen, there's chicks out here want to have a baby with DJ Khaled.
I mean,
because of that bread. Because of that bread.
Yep. And he got good hair now. The nigga do got good hair.
No, we're saying that it doesn't have to be based on looks. There's so many variables, man. Intentions and motives, man. Agendas, man. It's crazy. I still say amen to that clip, and I need you to send me that link, though. Because I'm gonna run that shit I'm gonna run that for a week.
Oh yeah, that's what
Corey Holcomb clip.
That's actually what we're about to watch right now. So,
I need that. I'm gonna run that for a whole week straight.
All right.
I seen this too. I seen this.
Fair use.
5 with Leon Rogers, Kyle, and Kendra G. Comedian Corey here.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful.
But you know what? I totally get what Corey was saying.
Play the violin and come up here.
I was in the barber shop talking to some homies, and the first thing they said was, "Man, you had both of your parents growing up," and that we laugh,
right?
But a lot of dudes didn't grow up with both parents in the home, so
that's
they
rare.
Yeah,
that's rare. I'm from Chicago, man. It's a whole bunch of single moms who got opinions and they lonely. That's really what the world is about. All you women who have something to say, you saying it to people who not with you.
But listen, okay, but they're single mom because the guy's not with them. So is there any accountability to the
They're
man
a single
that
mom
left
because
that
their
family?
opinion is more important than being with the person that they had kids with.
What do you mean by that?
Just think about how many women grow up the kids grow up just with their mom. Like if you really think about the statistics with that, something is really wrong. And when you think about what's wrong, why isn't the man in the house? The government is part of it because they give the women tools against the man, but don't give the man tools against the women. So it's like we're being assisted by the government to split the families.
Well, here's the deal, though.
That's COINTELPRO right there.
I agree with that. The only thing that I don't agree with is you're giving a lot of the accountability to the woman of the family. It takes the man to be a part of the family, too. So if he's helping her create the child and he doesn't stick around to raise the child, that's his fault. It's not her fault. Here we go. It's always the man's fault, and the women, they're just these perfect women. Nothing is wrong with them, and they have nothing to do with why they're single. What Corey is explaining is that a lot of single mothers are single, and it's not just because the man left them. There are a lot of women out there who messed up thinking they could trap men or keep a man with kids, and that's been debunked now for years. Men will not stay around and put up with your disrespect, your masculinity, and your unwillingness to cooperate, all for some kids. They will leave you, and for some of them now, they're starting to take the kids with them. But these women just didn't end up alone with kids because she was a great woman and she just got left. A lot of them, they got left for a reason. And for some of them, it was their unbearable attitude. And yes, that's how a lot of women ended up alone with those kids. Like Corey said, there are a lot of single mothers out there lonely with opinions. And this lady here, she's one of them. They like to tell you the daddy, he's nothing, or tell the kids that your daddy left you because he didn't care about you. They don't tell you that your daddy left because, nah, they're not telling them to be a real woman. They're telling them how to go be the man that they can't get. Exactly.
No, if you're a woman and you want to keep the man that you had a baby with, you have to bow down.
You have to bow down.
You are not in charge here.
What are you talking about, Corey?
You have
You're
to
trying
bow
to make me
down.
upset. She's trying to make me upset. I'm not gonna.
What, do you have kids?
I don't have any kids.
Obviously, you ain't got no kids. That's what I'm saying. It's like
What do you mean?
you're not going to bow down.
No, I'm not. But I would have enough money to raise my child with or without the guy.
Right. So money, you'll have kids raised with money.
Okay. But the guy, but I will say this though, the guy loses out though. You're making it seem like the woman.
Well, the guy can always make kids. I start over tomorrow with him.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
I want to have.
Yo, I don't know what it is out of all the people on this planet Earth, why you had to pick one of the most body altered, oldest, I don't know what the fuck to call her. No kids, no man, no husband chick in the world.
But she's a perfect example, Carl.
She's a perfect example of what that other clip was saying.
That's what they end up.
Yeah.
Not happy. Don't be fooled. She is not happy.
I know she's not happy.
Nobody wants her. Like
Well,
she made it publicly
no,
known.
the men that she.
No, she's
Kendra
not
G?
engaged. She's overcompensating.
Kendra G's not engaged.
She's not engaged to nobody.
She's engaged to shit. She might even be on.
She's
the
engaged to them to her body.
Oh, I thought she was
No, but her body's natural though. It's not made up.
It don't even matter because her mindset's fucked up, so her body don't matter.
You know what's crazy though? I figured after doing her dating show, she would have. I think she's kind of coming around after doing her dating show though. But Unique, what did you want to say about that clip?
I love Corey Holcomb to a fault. Like I used to couldn't stand him when he first came out, but the reason why I couldn't stand him is because he talked bad about women, but then I realized he just talking bad about the women that do bad. He ain't talking about me. So that's why
You gotta grow on him. You gotta understand him.
talk about the women that he choose. He choose women that need $200 and will do anything. That's the women he choose. So that's what he talk about. He ain't talking about me. So that's why it's funny now. So
you used to get mad.
I would
You used to
say-
get mad at her.
I would say if you have children, definitely you're not gonna have the I don't give a fuck attitude when you have children in a relationship. So you're going to consider and think of alternative ways to sustain that relationship if you have children. Now, a lot of single mothers out here right now, and I agree with him now because of the attitudes. Yes, there are attitudes, there are expectations, there are selfishness. Yes, there are women like that. But there are all women that's not like that too. But we always focusing on the women that's like that. So that's my opinion about Corey Holcomb.
You know, if she had a husband and children, she wouldn't have time to do what she's doing right now.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the trade-off.
But that's her job, though, isn't it?
No.
Is she paid to matchmake?
No.
No, well, I mean, that's her YouTube show. But she was a radio host.
I mean, all of this.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see her on that radio thing. I didn't even know she was on there. I know her from YouTube.
It's more like, I think she spoke about her choice in men before, and she used to just specifically date athletes, like top athletes, the ones that are not trying to.
They ain't finna marry you. You ain't to marry, bro.
And well, she was also looking at this is before she started doing the dating show, before she went on Kevin Samuels and all that stuff. She was also looking at the bracket, the numbers that the guys also made, because now she was a radio host. She's making several six figures. I don't know how much, possibly even the seven figures.
I just look at the pattern.
Looking at that as if these men actually qualify.
But do she have a dad in her life?
These are the real questions.
That's a good question.
I don't believe she do.
Because the pattern of looking for attention is insane to me.
Right. That dad is important for both the boy and the girl. That dad is important for both the boy and the girl. A man and a woman together gives the child the best outcome. Everybody on this panel know that. There is no arguing with that. The woman raising the child, a boy, is 90% more likely to end up in police handcuffs at some point in their life. 90%
some kind of assault.
Likely. 90 fucking is actually higher than that. It's more around 93 or 94%. It's high. It's an A+ rating. Okay, we'll just put it like that. They end up in handcuffs at some point in their life. Now, am I shitting on women? No, I'm not. But I am hoping you open your fucking eyes. If the dude is not marriageable, he shouldn't be fuckable.
Thank you.
If he's not marriageable, he shouldn't be fuckable. Suck his dick.
There you go.
Because you ain't giving no
for the people in the back. Say for the people in the back.
Swallow his kids, nigga.
The fuck I'm getting from sucking his dick?
Hey, well, don't deal with him.
I say that, yeah.
If he's not marriageable, then don't fuck him.
Use a condom.
If you're not keepable,
logic.
When I say that, listen.
That's why we're in the situation that we're in now.
Put them on
game. It'll be fine. He just told you about how men trap women.
When I say,
it'll be fine. I'll trust him. It'll be fine.
When I be saying fuckable but not keepable, I know people could take it so many, but that's what I'm talking about. You understand? If you're not keepable, then how the hell you wind up being fuckable? I don't understand that.
Exactly, Miss. What's her name? Miss She said.
Miss She said. Yeah, that part.
We ain't gotta fuck. Who said you gotta fuck to get a nut? Nigga, you ain't gotta fuck. He eat your pussy, you suck his dick, and it's over with. Both of y'all got nuts, and there you go.
I gotta look.
It's just the method was different. It's better than the fucking vibrator. At least it's another human.
I just wanted to throw out there too something that came to my head about if you've been through 10 different guys in a 10-year period, and you sit there and say it's all their fault in one way or another why there wasn't marriageable, keepable, or why things didn't work out, everything is pointing at them. That is the only puzzle that I look at when I talk to women. Why is it that you're always blaming the guy for the failure, the negativity, for the lack of marriage, the lack of anything of growth? Why you don't look at yourself?
Really unique.
10, 15, 20 guys later, you still saying it's all the men's fault.
Now we all grown. Yo, y'all are crazy.
Yep. But she was right. She was right, boy. You damn near have to break her fucking neck, big and every damn thing. It was not happening.
Mrs. She said, won't you come up here and talk? Her and her husband got a podcast.
Where? Come on up here.
Facts. Big facts.
Throw that link right at her.
Let me tell y'all something.
Top of the chat.
There's a lot of people that I would love to see them or meet up with them when they turn 55, 60. There is.
I mean, you know, this. I don't know. I said what I said. That the man has a huge importance in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get with a dude for all the wrong fucking reasons, you putting too many emphasis on looks and how much money he make. That don't just because he make good money don't make him marriage material.
Uh-huh.
That's only one fucking part of it. It's only one part of it.
Yeah.
Well, if he makes good money, it's a bonus. Motivate his ass, and I promise you, he'll make more money.
Because there's abusers out there that make good money too.
I think that's a big fallacy that like has been going around. Like there weren't really like a lot of abusers out there. Like everyone throws around. Like
majority of men do not put their fucking hands on a woman.
That's what I'm saying. And like it's
overwhelming majority of men do not hit fucking women.
Do not hit women. So like this
and
whole
I know men that will jump on your ass for trying to hit a woman in front of them. I'm one of them.
It was crazy. It's crazy because it's like black men are so abusive, and that's like because of that. What was it like that? What was it? Color Purple movie.
Yeah,
that, like got everyone thinking.
Yeah,
like,
all of a sudden, this is the fucking narrative.
All of a sudden, like black men are so abusive. It's like, yo,
but in reality, it wasn't. In reality, it wasn't the black men. It was other racial groups that was doing more of the domestic. Yeah.
Listen here. I ain't gonna tell you not one more goddamn time. You're gonna get your ass in there. And you're gonna fix me something to fucking eat, or I'm gonna go upside that ass. I'm telling you right now.
That makes a logical sense why you don't hear other ethnic groups talk about relationships like black folks on these social medias.
One thing that's interesting about the abuse too
had to go.
Is that
Thank you, Miss She said.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Go ahead.
Do I have a delay? Am I lagging?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, one thing that's interesting about abuse too is that oftentimes it's mutual abuse. So both parties are hitting each other. So a lot of times it's just put on the man, like the man, be careful, that man could be abusive, but oftentimes actually, they're both hitting each other.
Yeah.
Sure.
I see that as being a fad in the younger generation. They think that's cool for a guy and a girl to go with each other for a period of time and beat each other up. Is it Blueface or whatever his name is? They had that on World Star social media.
What?
Blueface or somebody, the guy and the girl that kept fighting each other, and then they kiss and make up, and then they fight each other again, and everybody's following the same path.
Sounds way too toxic, bro.
Hmm.
Way too toxic.
Some people are addicted to toxic, just like people are addicted to alcohol, drugs, anything else. They're addicted to toxic.
Yeah, I don't.
Like Doc was saying earlier, you got guys that, not to change it, but that, I'm gonna switch it back to the men with, no dick discipline. There are some guys that will be turned on by a woman that yell across the room, "Timmy, get your fucking ass over here." Oh, that's all right. I don't want to be bothered with you, because if I had kids with you, this is what I would have to endure. No, I don't want that. But you got some guys that don't care, and they still would hit that. You know what I'm saying? So, dick discipline.
Well, most guys in this generation don't. But I want to throw this question at you, at the panel. So, men kill people, women kill societies. Men kill people, and women kill societies.
I thought it was the other way around.
Danielle, what you think? Men kill people and women kill societies.
I think
What's
I'm
your
not
thoughts on that?
interested in your topic.
What's that?
I think I'm not interested in your topic.
You're not interested in the topic. Why is that?
It's not something I think about.
Interesting. Noted. Unique.
Men kill people, women kill societies. God damn. When I heard you say that, that's what I said. Like, damn. We kill societies for real? I would say that women are the nurturers. Women are the ones who fine tune and have the intuition. Men do have an intuition too, but when women are in their true femininity, they have more of intuition of what's going on spiritually with the child, what they may need, what they may want. So I feel like, yes, maybe when it comes to societies, it's something that takes slow, integral things to tear apart. It takes small microaggressions, small passiveness to tear society apart. It doesn't take something real big to do that. So I guess you could say women could tear society down by doing those innuendos, by raising children in a certain way. They can tear society down. And yes, men, they love to fight, they love to shoot, they love to, so they normally just deal with one-on-one stuff. But I think it could be both ways. I think it could be the other way around as well too. I feel like it can be both ways.
It can somehow wrap around. But you do what?
I do get what you're saying with that.
I don't think men love to fight though. I think if it's based on a principle or matter or ego or something, but I don't think they just love it.
Okay. Carl, expand more on that.
I know damn well women are the biggest influence of the whole world because they set the tone and the standards. I mean, if women, like I said before, if women went out today and said, you know what? No man's getting no pussy unless he has life insurance. A lot of dudes will go out and get life insurance tomorrow. So, I'd say women have more influence over men than men over anything else. So, somewhat I agree.
Well,
but I thought it was the other way around, though.
So you thought men kill societies, women kill people?
Yeah. You don't see all this masculine energy out here? Women are killing men and shit? I mean, come on, man. There's a lot of dudes locked up, dead, in jail because of a woman.
That white girl just killed the big, buff African dude.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I thought it was the other way around.
I mean, I agree with the statement. I agree. I agree with the statement: men kill people, women kill society, especially the women kill society part. I mean, because when you look at it, women kill societies because they dictate whether or not a life will be born.
Mm-hmm.
They also dictate whether or not, um, how whether or not the father is going to be remain in the home. Because if you do roll up on a decent dude, that's a good dude, right? He had both parents in the home, so he's not this, this guy who's doing any kind of thing, but he ends up with a female who's toxic. Then, it's only so much he's gonna take. He will not stay for the kids. And I'm telling all women this, newsflash: men do not stay for the kids. Like, we are well aware that we can make babies. Now we'll try to spend time with our child that we made with you, but if you just keep making that shit a headache, then it won't happen.
Say not all men stay for the kids, because I know some men that stay for the kids.
No.
An overwhelming majority of men will not just stay just because of the kids.
Okay, yeah,
it's only going to be a handful that will stay because of kids. Most men are not going, and if it get bad enough, even them men are be up out of it.
I mean, I know like a handful of men who stay for the kids.
Right.
So
the women are responsible for that. Like, women are responsible for it, like Carl was saying. A woman has a greater influence on the society. She dictates whether or not life is going to exist. So, and with all these single fucking women raising these kids, she also dictates the fucking tone and pace of the future generations to come.
Right.
So if she's fucked up, the kids would be fucked up. So the society is essentially fucked up. Because when you go to raise your kids, you don't find professionals to help you and navigate this.
You get around other chicks that just as fucked up as you are.
Right. And not only that, you're gonna go back, when a baby's born, it don't come with an instruction manual. You're gonna raise your damn child how you were raised. If you were raised that it was okay for the baby to sleep in the bed with you, then you gonna put the fucking baby in the bed with you. And then you might even read a book that confirms your damn biasness, because you was already wanting it to happen, and you read a book and say it is. Well, you talk to somebody like me, I'm not going to agree with you on that, because you already started the damn baby up.
And I'm going to just add that a lot of this conversation also, if you really want to tap into it, also deals with recruitment. You have people that actually recruit other miserable people to join this push narrative of I don't need no man. Like I said, rather it's social media, rather it's movies, whatever, television shows. Because I said this the other day, you're not going to see no more Family Matters and family-oriented type shows no more, because that's not the narrative that is being pushed no more.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of recruitment going down, that we want y'all miserable people to join up with other miserable people so we can keep this thing going. And who knows, maybe we'll get 60% of the world, 70% of the world being unisex bathroom in P Valley.
Yeah, that's
we're lucky.
Right now the numbers are changing dramatically, and the powers that be, they know that. I mean, we talk about media influence, but here's a little research that I found. One, there's a recruiting site called QSpace for kids. It allows children to go on there and learn about transsexuality, homosexuality.
There we go.
And then they got a little green button. If they hit the green button, they can escape away from there, and it just pulls up it hyperlinks into a Google page to make it look like you were just searching for something, and it automatically deletes it from the history. Yeah. It's called QSpace. Look it up. It's called QSpace. So they talk about transgenderism. They teach you that you don't have to be a boy if you don't want to. All these things, right? And I said that because the numbers are starting to show birth rate is down. It used to be 97% heterosexual. Now it's something more like 95 or 94% is heterosexual. And the numbers would probably, if you pull, and that's just between lesbian, gay, and nothing else, right? And nothing else.
Wow.
Hey,
I said we're gonna become extinct in another, 10, 20 years.
Now, we're not gonna become extinct, but you're gonna have some, like, society will be really, really hard to live in. Because right now I have a hard time even finding something decent to watch, because unlike a lot of parents, I monitor everything that he watches. I let him watch stuff with me, you know what I'm saying? I let him watch certain things, but it's certain things I don't allow him to watch. And when it comes, when it comes to
all of Netflix,
all that weird shit, I don't let him watch that. And he don't even take a phone to school. Like, there's no reason for him to have a phone at school. I said that, and they were like, well, times have changed. I'm like, nigga, ain't no fucking time change.
People change. It's not the times, it's the people that's changing.
You understand me?
Yeah.
I get a fucking phone call from a computer system if I keep this nigga at home with me. I'm like, I know where he at, but they call me anyway. He don't need a phone. Trust me, they responsibility when I drop him off. And I promise you, if he come up there and say, I need my dad, somebody gonna give him a damn phone. The office phone is made, he can go use that. He don't need a phone because I'm not stupid. He's 13. Ain't gonna be no dick pics passed up in this bitch. Had your ass a charge before you even get to be 15 years old. Your ass already standing in front of the judge.
Yeah.
She said,
that's why I said it starts for the parenting, because if the parenting starts getting lazy and the technology is doing more of the work, the parenting,
all right, good night.
There you go.
Good night, Chase.
Good night.
Night, Chase.
You got your clothes ready?
Talk.
All right.
Join in the combo, man.
Good night.
Man, I don't even know where to jump in. There's so much going on.
Start with the question. Men kill people, women kill societies. What's your thought process?
Men kill people, women kill society. I don't know. I guess we can represent that to be true. If that's what we believe, that's our perspective. We can find some supportive evidence of that. I don't know. I haven't seen society, women kill society. I guess I would need some context for that, man. Women killing society.
You came real deep with that one, bro.
Yeah, I need a.
That's a deep one that, like, yo.
Clement was using a play on words, man. Look at it as a more likely, most likely situation. Like, if some killing is to be done, a man would end up killing somebody before a woman would, but the woman will definitely control how the society is. That's kind of like how it is. Like, it's not really literally, not necessarily literally.
But it's a catch-22, because literally that women are out here killing motherfuckers.
Well, then they both.
and men are killing society, because remember, if men don't step up and do what's expected of them, they are killing society.
Yeah, that's the part that was throwing me off, because, I'm still with James Brown. This is a man's world,
And
so
but James Brown was raised by two parents.
Yeah, so So the idea that women kill societies, I mean,
who do you think runs it?
Until generation.
Who runs what?
Like who do you think funds most of society?
Women.
So
by a long shot.
Who do you think a lot of the media portrayal and a lot of things are going to target?
Women.
Well,
If you
I'll
want,
tell you what. I'll put it this way.
the woman.
We as black folks would be a whole lot, and I know ladies gonna be pissed with me. If women was to boycott and say, you know what, no more weaves, no more wigs, that's a whole lot of money that would be in our community. What? No more makeup. We're doing this natural. We're going back to Soul Train days. That's a lot of money. So yes, women, the biggest consumers. Yes, they could stop this anytime they want.
But they don't want.
They don't want to.
But see, the woman with that new, like, back to talk with what he was saying, it's not necessarily a man's world no more.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Now it's like, because a lot, you only a king if, you're not even
Isn't that men
you're
though?
a king by title, but you're only a king if the people that's supposed to respond to you as a king actually live out that definition, or they validate it through their actions or response to you. So in the last generation, it's like this is a man's world, but now nobody don't know what you're talking about.
I like how you said that. You got to be voted in to be a king, huh?
It's just different. It's
The people have spoken.
and that's why it's so much. If you think about it, I talked to different women. I talked to a woman earlier tonight, and she liked women, and she was just explaining some things to me, and I sit there and listen because we was playing chess. So I sat there and listened to her, whatever like that. But she had a real sophisticated bachelor's degree version of it. It was plausible, but
On the face, it might have been plausible, but reality, it can't be.
right. But I look at this as a pendulum swing, meaning that something's going to happen. Something will happen, and this will take another course, because that's how nature works. Nature has a way, just like the stock market, of correcting itself. And it doesn't matter what man-made laws there is and how many rights or none of that. It just happens. It'll happen.
Well, I wish it'd hurry up, because I've been looking for an all-female body shop, all-female mechanic shop. Why half step? If you want to be a man, or you want to take the male place so bad, do it in all faction. Don't just pick and choose and tiptoe around it.
You're gonna be looking for a very long time, my friend.
I'm saying, I like to take my car to a shop and see a female going underneath through the oil change, do the brakes, do the rotors. Don't care about no nails.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say I wouldn't drive that car. Who?
Wait a minute.
Stephanie?
Come on, Chris.
Stephanie?
Don't you have confidence in the black woman? Come on, Chris.
No.
You don't have confidence the black woman can do what a man can do?
It's not Steven. It's not a typo, right? So it's Stephanie. Okay, thanks. I'll go to the next shop.
Oh, Chris, you mean to tell me that we only selectively have confidence in black women when it comes to certain things, but not everything?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to kids, no problem. Nurturing, cooking, no problem. But when it comes down to a car, you feel unsure?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Chris, what's your thoughts on the question?
Yeah. So to answer the question, I agree with it. I think men when they kill, it's like pulling out a weed. Like this is a threat to the garden. But maybe, pulling out that weed means that they also pull out a flower accidentally, but there was purpose to it. A woman doing something as awful as murder, the equivalent to that would be her infecting the garden, and then everything in the garden dies or can't be eaten. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like being afraid of guns versus being afraid of C-19. You know, a lot of people, everyone's afraid of the next plague. But, you know, guns is like, if the right person's holding it, it'll be okay. Women, because of the role that they have the power to infect so many more minds versus men. It's more so diffusing a threat. And I think that's the biggest difference. Not saying men don't cause harm or they have no power to cause harm. You know, most of the people that sit behind the big red button are not women, which most of us think that's a thank God. Women are not sitting behind that big nuke button, but
they're typically behind the man that's gonna push the big red button.
I don't know, man. The way shit is going, I don't know if it's a man or woman behind that red button because everything is so complicated now. You can't tell.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to societies, I think both parties
Women
have
are easily deceived. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
women are easily deceived, and when we're deceived, it affects many generations to come, men and women. You know, men typically just kill other men, but women, we have the power to destroy
I'm
generations.
just glad I'm an adult and not a teenager in this era because I'd be fucked up.
You would know. You would think you're in the worst country in the world.
For real. When you said that, for real. Like I felt that. Like if I was like kind of my goddaughter's age and in my 20s, and I'm seeing like I'm going to the college and I'm seeing all these men with tight ass jeans on with their ass hanging out, and see women with baggy shit on.
And you got to worry about which one is straight and which one is not.
Like it's just like what they choosing? This is what they gotta choose from. This what like I feel sorry. I'm so glad.
Remember,
I feel like I'm like the last generation that still has some real men in this shit.
Remember, 30 years ago in college, a woman didn't have to decipher if the guy was into women or men. That wasn't even a factor 30, 40 years ago. Now it is. Which I think goes back to what Doc was saying earlier about, you know, the younger generation in their early 20s, somehow getting married or going to college and worrying about marriage later. Yeah, look at what they got to pick from. Come on. Do I want the guy that got 3 baby mamas? The guy that's in and out of jail all the time? The guy that's trying to live off of me? I mean, look what they got to pick from. Erectile dysfunction, whatever. I don't know. I'm sorry. All of y'all look like y'all in a college class right now from my end. I swear to God. Me, Chris, y'all really look like y'all doing a thesis right now.
1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Talk. Well, I guess Talk needs a couple seconds too. It was still a question.
I'm listening.
Do you sleep with men? Not if they were gay or not. Thank you.
Huh?
I'm so confused.
Who sleep with who?
Hold on, wait. Maybe it's paired with this. Understandable. However, that is not the man's fault. Women need better training from their mothers. All the women in their lives on how to cooperate with men. Miseducation on both sides. I don't think most women really know or understand or even care really what a man actually wants. I think most women generally don't care what a man wants. They care about what they want.
Even though I'm doing that for myself, I have everything
That's why you hear a lot of black women telling men how to be men. because they want the version that they want based upon what limitations they have in their mind. They don't know what it's like to provide structure and foundation. A lot of them don't. So they going around telling guys, listen, especially the mama boys, especially the ones that just left home their mom's house or still living with their mom, listen, I want you to do X, Y, Z. And then you got the guys telling them, yo, you're a simp. Well, hey, because if you ask the average mother right now, all these mothers out here, would you allow your son to spend $200 on a woman he just met not even 72 hours ago? Pay her rent, get her hair, nails done and all that? Would you mothers be okay with your sons doing that? They'd be like, hell no. But you, mother, has been getting dudes to do that shit for the last 10, 20 years.
And he watched
So make up your mind.
And he watched you do it.
Exactly.
I mean, I know that I piss off a lot of single mothers. I'm going to tell you something. I'm a product of a single mother for about the first 15 years before she got married or remarried after my dad was killed, right? But I also am honest with the fuck on how I felt, and I know how I felt growing up. And then years later, my son, who was living with his mother, we experienced the same shit. We shared how we felt.
Yeah.
There's a commonality. And if I talk to another nigga who was raised by his mother, we all share the same shit, and none of us are related, except for me and my son. That means that there is a fucking correlation there.
That's
and we
right
don't have to make it an official experiment.
No.
We have enough variables where we can control. The one major control is we're not related. The common variable is with single parenthood on the mother side.
But the outcome still remains the same no matter what variable is applied.
Now, remember, I told you a little boy who's being raised by his mother says that 90% chance that child at some point in their life, either adulthood or child, will end up in handcuffs. He's been in handcuffs. I've been in handcuffs. And several of my homeboys have also been in handcuffs, and we was all raised by single mothers. You cannot be Superwoman and do every fucking thing. You do not know the dynamic of fucking manhood, so don't get offended. Just heed what a man is telling you and stop arguing with someone who knows about being a man, because that just happened to have been one for 48 fucking years. You don't know how to guide me on some shit that you have never been. That's just like saying that you can fly a fucking plane just as good as a pilot because you downloaded the app. Or you have a brother that's a fucking pilot.
And he's told you about it a couple of times.
And he told you, y'all had a few conversations about it. You think you got this shit. No, you don't. You have to do it. And you can't never do it because it's not what you are.
You said it before, Doc. You said that women do not like women who don't have their fathers in their life or constructive male role models in their life growing up. If it tends to like, if you don't listen to your dad for whatever reason, whatever relationship, if you don't listen to your dad, this is why you don't listen to grown men now, because of whatever you went through the first 20 years of your life. You wasn't listening to the male role models then, so you ain't gonna listen to them later.
No, because you've never found trust in a man. But when a woman is raised with her father in the fucking house, she knows that it's safe to listen to a man. Also, she knows a bullshit. She knows bullshit. Because women typically will marry a man that reminds them of their fucking dad.
That's what I always said. The biggest liars are the fathers to their daughters. Let me say this one more time clearly. A lot of women don't realize your father was the first liar that you experienced in your lifetime and don't even realize it.
The first liar, huh?
The first liar.
Not the first masculine figure.
Not
the
first liar.
frame of man.
The first liar. Because remember,
Everything that your father told you
about men and about life and so on, he kind of, for the most part, screwed the truth. Because it's not telling you how to be a wife, how to be cooperative, how to bring peace. He's telling you things to keep you from fucking, to keep you his little girl, to keep you sheltered.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a conflict of interest.
Your mother, that's why that's not the father's job, it's the mother. The father needs to watch the damn the what the girl is gonna get from the father. Because what happened if you have a good marriage, a good relationship, right? Mother coming at you know your daddy just want to keep you his little girl. Listen, you need to do this, just like that's why I do this for your daddy, that's why I do that for your daddy, that's why I do this, blah, 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 blah,
right.
Blah, 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 right? Dad will put you on game. Once he accepts the fact that you're not a little girl no more, dad will vet the hell out that man, bro. You'll know when he find one that he really like.
Damn, I wish we can bring that back.
Marry the man that they dad like.
Yeah.
They married, they want to marry Ray Chauncey.
But what if their dad never even tell them what type of person they should be with or even care about what their opinion was about their men? Like, I had a dad in my life, but he never talked to me. He never said, oh, you know, this is the type of man you should choose. Da, 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 da. No.
Listen, bring
he
home.
talked to me about going to school. He talked to me about listening to my mom. He didn't talk to me about how to treat a man.
And that's my point. All women, bring home the type of man that mirrors the personality and traits of your father and see how he responds. That's the truth right there.
Most people aren't growing up in a home with a man.
I know.
I had a stepdad. My dad left at 3. My stepdad came in at 8. So I wasn't that long without a male figure in the house.
How many
friends? I still had my dad in my life, so I had both. 2.
If you brought home a dude that was exactly or close proximity in personality and trait as your stepdad, what do you think he would have said?
I don't know if he would approve of him or not, because he only gave his opinion maybe about one person that I brought home, my stepdad, and then my dad probably gave one opinion about one person too, but they've never like given opinions about all different people that I've dated. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they've been like, oh, you know what, I like this dude. No, it was like one person just irked them to the T, and that was the person they told me, to not mess with, because that person.
So this is the point what Doc said earlier about men stepping up, because the men have to vet the future.
No, but they didn't vet all the other people.
But they need to. That's part of a man's job. A man's job is to vet.
To meet everybody that I was dating.
But did you volunteer them to meet?
I offered to meet. Like, I just brought them around them. Just it wasn't something like, oh, I need to meet who you with. No, they didn't even do that.
I think that would be a big hole in all the bullshit that we hear about men and women relationships in the Black community. I think we have to bring back vetting, and we have to bring it back in a consistent, strong way, because we already know what game is. So, come on.
I feel like they seen game in those two people, and that's why they told me, don't mess with
We just got to hope it's somebody without a conflict of interest.
They didn't tell me how to figure out who it is. Like, they should do that too.
What did you say, Chris?
My dad never sat down with me and told me how to pick a man. The point of this is why it's important to have 2 parents in the household that are happy in their roles. Like, happy is very important. Happy in their roles, because as a child, you're supposed to see how your parents interact with each other, and they're supposed to show you what it's supposed to look like. A dad isn't there to teach a woman how to be a wife. He can't do that. But what he's there for is to teach a woman how a husband should treat a wife. All he can do is show you. The mother, what she's there to do is to show her daughters that she's happy in her role as a wife and how she treats her husband. A lot of this stuff is not said. Half the things that my parents said to me growing up, I don't remember, but I saw a lot. My dad didn't tell me you pick this kind of man. My dad had rules that I followed. He gave me a curfew. He told me you don't let this type of man drive your car, because there's a lot of, I don't know why that was a thing, but he wasn't into like, I get you a car and then you let all these people drive your vehicle for many reasons. But he had rules, but he never told me like, you don't date this type of guy, this type of guy, this type of guy. When I started dating, I knew what a relationship was supposed to look like. I knew what type of man could provide that lifestyle because I saw it in my own home. And that's what's missing in a lot of these homes. It's not just having two parents. You can have two parents in the household. Their roles are flipped and they're both unhappy, and the kids will turn out very similarly to as they do when there's only one parent in the household. The issue is these parents are not in their roles, and they're not joyful in their roles. They're not proud of what they do, what their responsibilities are in those roles. And I hear it all the time, and we don't even understand what it's supposed to look like, what's happening. A lot of this stuff is not word of mouth. Most of this stuff, I would say 99% of it, is action. Your kids are learning from every single thing that you do, every single day of your life.
Well, Chris, if that's true, then I learned
It's
that
like a good cop, bad cop. I swear, them two parent households.
that like my household, the man and the woman in my household lived their lives together and separate. Like he had his passion. He did what he needed to do to live that passion. But a lot of, you know what I'm saying, sometimes man's passion don't always bring money, don't always bring the bread, you know. And sometimes
he was a struggling drummer.
No, like he wasn't that. But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes people's passion don't always bring them the money. They still have to have a job, and he did. No. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that I seen them do things together, and I seen them do a lot of things separate. Like they had their interests that they love to do together, but they also had a lot of things that they did apart from each other. Like they had their own lives as well. So
basically, it's like what Chris said about as long as you're performing a balance, and as long as the kids are seeing a balance, like in your case, then you have a better shot.
Nick, were you done with your?
Rosa posed a question to you.
Oh, okay. What was okay?
Did Blooming Ebony have the same experience with her dad?
Experience. Do you know what she's referring to? I don't recall.
I guess I'm assuming the experience of you watching your parents and how they grew up, and that's how you kind of try to pick a man similar to your dad.
Yeah, I'm confident everyone has that same experience. Like you watch your parents and you either have a positive or a negative reaction to it. So either you want the life that they showed you or you don't want the life that they showed you.
You got corrupted along the way and said, nah, I want the simps.
Well, it's not corrupted. It's how we respond to our environment. So it's very similar to like if you see someone do drugs and then they OD, your brain just told you, okay, I don't want that, so I'm not going to do it. Okay. Right. But if you see someone I don't get their first paycheck, you're probably gonna think, oh, I want a job so I can earn my own money. That's just how your brain responds to things. So like I believe Talk had an example where he has a brother and his parents were I think abusive, and not to them, but I think to each other somehow. And the brother went down a different route and Talk went down a different route. But both of those experiences were their brains reacting either positively or negatively to their environment. So like either it's like a 50-50 split, like either one could happen.
So one took a good route, the other one took a negative route.
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like I was kind of like, I was raised with men in my life. Like I was raised with seeing how my mom interacted with my stepdad and did certain things for him and stuff like that. I seen that. But then I also had my own dad who would come to my house and still do things at my house because I lived it. Like my dad would still fix things, hook things up, even though he didn't live there. You know, so I seen that type of interaction. But the crazy thing is that I ended up marrying somebody that was like my dad instead of like my stepdad. I didn't even live with my dad. But I ended up marrying somebody like him way more than like the stepdad that I grew up with from 8 years old. You know,
I want them tall, dark, and handsome, but I keep getting these dudes that are like 5'6", 5'5".
You know, I'm talking about personality wise. Yeah, because he's built like my dad. He's like, 6'2", whatever, and tall like my dad. But cause my stepdad is short. But he just has the personality of my dad. Like, as far as like a homebody and don't like to be around a lot of people, and mostly try to, tell people what to do and criticize rather than do it themselves. Like, that's my dad, and that's my, my dad don't drink and smoke and all that, but he did smoke when he was young, but my dad is more traditional. My dad is more, with my stepmom, do what I say type. He's married to a Filipino woman. I'm sorry. My dad is more do what I say type. So I think
I say not as I do.
Yeah, but I think that in some ways he is like my stepdad because my husband is not like my dad in that way. My husband is not do what I say as I like. My husband ain't like that. My husband is more like my stepdad in the personality of that little bit. But as far as like not like wanting to be around people, always trying to tell people advice but don't do it themselves, that he's like my dad in that way. And I, it was crazy that I realized it before I married him. So, what I'm saying? Sometimes when you realize things before you make the action, it's like, hey, you knew what you was getting into. Because I told my aunt all the things I knew about him, and she was like, who does that sound like to you? I was like, I don't know. She was like, that sounds like your dad to me. My aunt actually said that to me before I married him, so I knew what I was marrying.
I mean,
but yeah, I think it can have an effect on you. Yes, the man that's in your life, a lot of women tend to end up with that man, trying to resolve some issue from the past.
If you got, go ahead, Doc. You ain't been on.
No, I was gonna say I was listening to everything you guys said, and I know for me growing up, I watched my dad, like the boys. We watch our dad. We watch our dad, how he move in the street, how he deal with confrontations, all of that, even down to when the police was coming to the house looking for him. We watched my dad's response to finding that information out. So we kind of looked at our dad as he is the example of how we need to maneuver or survive or move out in the street. That's kind of how we looked at that, right? And my mom, it was just a different modality. My mom, I responded to her. I loved her. I cried when she passed away. But my dad, it was more, it was more of an honorable thing, right?
and it was just all love with him. You know, I remember just so many situations with my dad like that. I mean, all the boys, I know we do, right? But in terms of my daughters, basically it's show and tell, right? Like my daughters, they never seen me smoke cigarettes. They never seen me drink. They know I don't hit women. Like they saw that, right? Even when I moved on to another relationship and this young lady had a daughter, which is my stepdaughter now, not through marriage, but just the relationship, even though we're not together no more. I remember telling her daughter, we was arguing one time, me and her mom, and I remember calling her daughter in the bedroom with us after we had got finished arguing. And I told her daughter, look, you 8, you 9. You don't have to make sense of who's right and who's wrong when you hear us arguing. If you think something's going on with your mom, you go ahead and call the police or you call your uncle now. You don't even worry about it. And you know, she's sitting there looking at me. She couldn't process that, and her mother probably couldn't either. But that's just how I move. You know, that's just me. So to the point of we don't necessarily communicate it, I think most fathers they demonstrate it, right? And the kids are watching more than they are listening. Yep. That's what I believe. So
you can talk to you blue in the face, but a kid is gonna learn more about what they see you do than what you tell them they do. Why you like? That's why it's two things that will ruin a child. And if anybody is watching the podcast, this is my professional opinion, and it's actually factual. All right, social media, let them have their own Facebook accounts and stand on TikTok and Snapchat and all that stuff. You think it's harmless? It's very harmful. And the second thing is what the fuck they watching, because it's gonna come a time when you do not have influence over your child. I will say this again. There will come a time, and that time is typically around 12 years old. You are not the greatest influence of them. Their peers and acceptance is the greatest influence of their behavior. Their peers and their acceptance are the greatest influences of their behavior, not you. You can go home and say, well, not my child, then you're ignorant. Because it's not true. The child is going to develop the way the child develops, and their personality is inner. That is how they feel on the inside. And it's constructed by all these different variables, not just one.
Right.
How you were to them, how they see themselves, what kind of confidence level they at, what is their self-image, what is their self-efficacy. All of this comprises their personality, and they reach personality identity conflict around the age of 13, and they stay in that conflict until they reach identity attainment between the ages of 18 and 25. Now that's empirical.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
And that could be following the influence of their cousin, their favorite aunt, their grandmother, somebody at school. It's so many different people.
Exactly. That's not limited to you. Vygotsky theorem on personality development says that children will also take adaptation to those who key adults in their life. That could be somebody in their life. Look when I say in their life, let's diagnose that for a minute. Key adult figures in their life. Prior to social media, you couldn't be in nobody else's life unless your folks associate. Well, we don't associate. They don't have to. You can have a meaningful relationship online. That child you got to understand, when you take a child's imagination and you couple it with social media and all these lies that people are posting, some are true, some are lies. You got a child that is aspiring at something that just became a model for them.
And they're not differentiating between what's what. They're just sucking it all in.
They just taking all of it in. And when you got TV media that reinforces what they're seeing on Facebook. For perfect example, years ago, if somebody came to me, pre-internet, somebody came, for me it's like this is still, and somebody said, I'm a boy, but obviously this is a girl. You would go to your mama and be like, you know, so-and-so daughter, she thinks she a boy. But child, you know, a dad is abusive to her mama. He might have hit her too. I don't know what's wrong with that child. You need to stay away from her. That would be the end of that. That would be the end of that. But no, not now. Now you got social media where you got this pawn, Kris Jenner, who was paid money to come out and do this and start this whole big thing. Now, like wildfire, is spreading. And this is not even a real thing. This is a big ass gimmick, and it's coming out case by case, little by little. These boys who say they girls are raping women, they having sex with them in prison, the women prison, women, grown
getting
women
them pregnant,
sexually assaulted. They're offending people in the locker rooms by coming out with hard-ons because the essence, them, I'm a girl. Oh my God. It's just the essence. The essence of a man is coming out of them because you can't hide that, and it's not real because of social media. And then you got TV that on Netflix. You have to have an inclusionary. There's an inclusionary clause in Netflix produced movies.
But you have the male,
homosexual, lesbian, trans, or all. To get produced by Netflix.
You got the
ain't got that is not going to get put on one of their originals.
Netflix is wild right now.
But you got, listen.
But hold on, Carl. Hold on. I want to drop the last question in because we are a little past our time mark. So drop the last question. Can femininity be a bad thing? Chris, I want to start with you. All right. Can femininity or be a woman being too feminine, can it be a bad thing? Chris, start us out.
Too feminine? Feminine be a bad thing?
Yeah. Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
Yo, where do you get these questions from, man?
I don't know, out that big old brain he got.
I'm a sick individual, I guess.
Well, yeah, too much of it can be a bad thing. You know, femininity itself isn't the productive energy. You know, like you kind of have to switch between both. If you want to be a productive human being, I guess. So if there's too much of it, like that woman may be a little bit on like the lazier side. You know, her urge to get things done just because it has to get done may go down. So yeah, it can be too much of it can be a bad thing. Femininity itself, because you know, if femininity
I guess in
is
the aspect of relationships, when it comes to male and female dynamics, can
too
much femininity be a bad thing?
Oh, I see. That's tough to answer. I can answer with the types of femininity, but too much, that's a bit too subjective. Some women are able to use their femininity to manipulate men to do what they want them to do, right? Instead of what's best for both parties, right? And that can be really bad in relationships. It's typically like, I'm trying to think of examples. Like, it's hard for me to think of examples because I luckily didn't ask around myself with people like this.
Less on how it can actually damage the relationship or more on how it can be a backfire to her. Can it ever be a backfire to a woman to be too feminine?
If she with a man that don't like it.
Because like some people see like, oh, like
I can have a
being
woman
feminine as too, like some people might see being feminine as too docile, like you're too meek.
You talking about taking it back to Edith Bunker or some shit?
Yeah, like, nah, like somebody like too like a girl that's too prissy. You feel me? Like, like I like a woman who can handle herself. You feel me? I like a woman who like to hunt, fish, camp. And
you want the Michelle Obama
fucking hook. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman that's too prissy ain't gonna do that. And then, but if she will go with me, she can be feminine as fuck she want to. as long as she would go with me and not whine and complain, like, and really enjoy herself.
See, you're gonna fuck around. You're gonna say, "I want a Michelle Obama," and you're gonna wind up getting a Monique. See, because you just.
Hey, Monique's kind of fucking rowdy, bro. That's the kind I like.
But see, this is what I'm saying. You know, you gotta watch what you ask for. I'm gonna take the position that, based upon what's out here now, man, that would be a blessing to get that. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm curious to hear a little bit more of Chris's response, though. Like, did that question make sense?
My bad, Chris.
You're fine. Can you repeat it for me? I don't know when John jumped in, so I don't think you finished the question.
No worries. Can a woman being too feminine or resting in her femininity too much be a detriment to her at some point?
Okay, and then you mentioned something about the example you used was being docile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So this one's a tough one because femininity is, I think a lot of people interchange femininity and submission. And like submission falls under femininity, but femininity doesn't fall under submission.
It does?
I'm getting an echo.
Yeah, you suddenly got an echo. I think I'm getting a little bit of an echo as well.
Uh-oh. But it does? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it
I'm
falls
muted, so I
under
don't think
that.
it's coming from me.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So, like, if a woman's being submissive, she's probably being more feminine. But just because a woman is being feminine doesn't necessarily mean that she's being submissive, like, completely in that moment, is basically what I'm trying to say. But I think, so yes, submission, when the woman is too submissive, yes, that can be a problem. And that often is a problem when she's too submissive. That's the wife that all the women are afraid of, the woman that they refer to as like the slave. And typically it's not really submission at that point. It's kind of like coercion. It's like it's not really voluntary. So this question is really tough for me because I think when it comes to femininity, how feminine a woman is and can be a bad thing it depends on the man that she's with. But submission, if it's too much to the point where she has no backbone, then yeah, that'll definitely be a bad thing.
So her resting in her femininity is not so much the downfall, but who she chooses to submit or to give all of her submission to can be her downfall.
How she submits, yeah.
Or how she submits. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do some checking on this because I didn't know they was even in the same room. Femininity and submission. Because
in order to, I can break it down.
Please.
In order to submit, you have to be dependent on somebody else to do something for you. Like you, for example, like you submit in many areas of your life. So if you've ever been on a track team, you've submitted to the instruction of a coach willingly. You said, this person knows more than I do. So in order for me to win, I have to listen to what this person is saying, right? You are now dependent on that person. Does that make sense?
That's being cooperative.
Yes.
But how does being cooperative interferes with you being feminine? Because
it doesn't interfere. It's like
because I know some dykes that are cooperative, but they're not feminine. So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
There's a difference between being feminine and looking feminine. I think that's where a lot of people get mixed up. They could be feminine, you just don't see it the way that you are used to seeing it. But I think the manosphere doesn't quite define femininity correctly. So a lot of people are confused about what it is.
Okay.
They think that they can just see it off the bat, but you know, a dyke can be feminine, can be in her.
Oh yeah, I've seen them because when they take all that crap off, they look whoa.
Again, it's not necessarily how she looks.
Talk, we getting an echo. Talk. Yeah.
Wow. This is incredible because I didn't know they was interchangeable like that. I thought they was independent of each other all this time. But femininity, I would think that was a production where the cooperation I don't use words like submissive. Cooperation, that's more of an action. That's not a production like, the femininity. The femininity, from what I understand, had to do with how you exert yourself as your being, like as a woman, pink, girly things, hair, nails, all is feminine. Nothing that says you're trying to be like me. So
I think a lot of people
basically,
make that
anything
mistake.
opposite of masculine to be, it would be feminine, let's say.
I think that's why a lot of men get screwed over because they think, they see a dress and heels and that woman's going to be feminine. And she ends up being the worst nightmare. So a big part of being feminine is being cooperative because you understand that that person is here to help you, that you are dependent on him and you trust him, and you are comfortable being dependent on him for his protection. It has very little to do. Like if she feels good in her dress, then yeah, I'm not saying that she can't be feminine, but it has very little to do with how she looks. There are plenty of women that have like shaved heads and they can be in their feminine energy.
They'll probably shock you because you'd be like, whoa, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect her to be so forthright or, attentive, caring.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I was curious to get your thought process on that because that was a question that came up recently, and I was just wondering, like, can it be a bad thing? I figured it had something to do with submission, which it wasn't. They didn't necessarily go hand in hand. Femininity doesn't mean it could be a part of feminine. Submission could be a part of femininity, but it doesn't go the other way around. You can be a submissive person without being feminine. You can just be a very passive person. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. But guys, we are past the 2-hour mark. We are at the 2.5-hour mark. All right. This is why we got to get here on time, Carl. This is why.
No. Okay.
But on that note, though, we are going to close the show out. Unique, if you're still there, join us for our last closeout. So, shout yourself out. You're here.
Yes, thank you for tuning in to CKQ Podcast every Tuesday on his channel on YouTube. Check him out on Instagram every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. right? Eastern Standard Time. Also, check out 3 Married Ladies Opinions on Instagram. And on Instagram, we're just Married Ladies Opinions with a purple rose. That's our Instagram on Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am back doing just 1 Married Ladies Opinions. We're not doing any guests right now. Anybody can show up and talk about our subject. So don't forget that. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for interacting in the chat. Thanks for everybody that was in there. Have a good night. Peace.
That's fun. We have a doctor.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You can always find me here on CKQ Podcast every Tuesday. Like I said, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Peace.
We got Chris.
Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm on the CKQ Podcast every Tuesday. I'm not currently on my channel, The Blooming Ebony. I'll probably be back on there after busy season ends. I do taxes, unfortunately, and that's so exhausting. But until then, you can always find me here on CKQ Podcasts. And then also, I do have an Instagram at The Blooming Ebony. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe.
You got Carl.
Hey, Carl Chef, Karl Chef, like the movie on Instagram. I'm still in the process of completing my first book, 13. Well, that's the name of it. Going to be called 13. It's dealing with the 9 subdivisions of men. I mean, the 9 subdivisions of women and the 4 subdivisions of men. So this way we can identify and choose better based on mindsets and outcomes. So, but I enjoy myself like always, and hope y'all can learn something.
We got Top.
Hey guys, what's up? Is it still an echo coming through?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hold up.
But it's all right. It's all right.
It's cool. Okay.
We can work on that in the backstage.
Yeah. It's your boy Talk Williams. I just want to say thank you to CKQ for having me up on his podcast. You guys come over and subscribe. Check the brother out. The subject matter. We got, a plethora of experience and professionals as well as real people. That's what keeps it deep for me, man. You know, it's like it's just a place to learn so that we can pour into each other and then we can pour into others, man. Yeah. But anyway, you can find me on my YouTube channel. That's Talk Williams. And I do anything over there. I don't have a specific thing, but yeah, just TAK, skip a space Williams. Good night. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fantastic night. It has been a fantastic show. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We go live every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And pretty soon, we're going to start changing things up on this channel a little bit with the bow. So, if you haven't, hit the like button. But as usual, it's been great. It has been fun. And we will catch you all on the next show. Good night.
Yeah, don't forget those lights.
Don't forget those lights.
If we're doing everything right, I think we should be vetting our wives, like go to their parents, go to their fathers.
They know they shouldn't have let me start speaking my mind in the booth. Start speaking the truth. Might get shot.
I think you're just saying, okay, actions have consequences, and I'm not going to support this person's actions. Like, you don't have to cancel them and say, like, I hate you.
Innocent lives have to die.
But the whole thing is men are I also. That man was on the other side doing the exact same thing, and his decision with his eyes was to walk away.
Inside your soul.
Now we can paint the perfect picture without belittling each other. Cause under God's system,
we are equipped to handle that responsibility. But not every man is fit to handle that responsibility.
I done seen Flint, Michigan,
and that's just being
cities. They pissing in project buildings that got a roof that leaks, resulting in missing ceilings. Hard to sleep. Children going to schools dealing issues deep.
So I think society does make it more difficult for short men, but I don't think that it's impossible that they can find someone.
And expecting you to do your part. It ain't hard to see they trying to keep black in the back, just like Rosa Parks. Cops shooting blacks as if they get a token from God. School rob you with needed resources.
It's the weaker vessel and the more vulnerable.
Absolutely, 100%.
You don't look at the man like, oh, poor son, you were violated. No, you like, right.
And nobody.
They shift my stick like some cars. And when you're lonely in your darkest thoughts, come, I know it's hard, but God shines his light on all I play their part. And it's the start.
Put myself in a situation where I can only rely on a man. Like if I'm married and being a stay-at-home mom, I need to have a backup in case anything happens. I can't only rely on him. You know what I'm saying?
A flower will grow once you plant the seed inside your soul.
Poet, and the best part of me shows it. Here to speak the message of what is known, but not what it takes to expose it. Listen closer as I take you on a mental path. See divisions, the